Hi there, it's Lisa, and I am here today to do a really fun thing. I think it's fun anyway. And I know there's a name for it. I don't know what the name is, but basically I'm going to show you what it's like when you first receive your first box of tarot cards and kind of show you the process of getting those cards ready to use. Okay? Now, a lot of people have a lot of different ways that they do this. Some people like to set their cards in a window in the moonlight on, I don't know, west side of the house or whatever it is, or put crystals on it, or there's a variety of things. Whatever works for you, whatever you believe in, hey, that's great. Just do it. And but for me, I have kind of a simple method, and I thought for those of you who just want a starting point, let me give you a starting point. Okay, so as you know, I also am a big advocate of people getting card decks themselves and doing their own readings. And yeah, you can have me do a reading for you any old day, or somebody else that you trust, you know, a trusted advisor. And that's always a good thing too. I think there's definitely a place for that, especially when it comes to tarot versus oracle decks. And we're going to get into that a little bit more here in a second. But well, maybe we won't get into that today. Tarot is a system. Oracle is a set of cards that was created by an author and subject to whatever that author wanted to do with those. Okay, that's the short of it. But today we're going to open up a brand new box of tarot cards and go from there. So I've already received the cards in the mail, yay me, and I've already taken off the paper, and ta-da, here they are. So we're going to be going through the Good Tarot deck by Colette Baron Reid, and let's just see what we do to get started. So you get your new box of cards, okay? Now, these little boxes are really tight. I've gone ahead and taken the top off because it's super tight and hard to get into. So when you get your cards out, they're all going to come with a little book like this. Okay, and the booklet tells you a little about the cards, the making of them, the author. So this one says how it works, a note from Colette, and then the cards. There's 22 what they call trump cards, and then the 4 elemental suites. All tarot decks, like I said, it's a system, so there's going to be 78 cards. And that's the first thing you want to do is make sure that all your cards are there, because the cards right here are really shiny and they kind of have a film on them, and so sometimes they can stick. And so you're going to want to go through and get to know your cards, and the best way to do that is to just check to make sure that they're all there. So we know that there's the 22 trump cards, what we call the major arcana cards, or arcana, whichever you want to say. It's up to you how you want to say it. And so you're going to want to go through and just make sure all of those are there. And they start with 0 and they go up. Okay, so 0 to 21. So I've got my first card there. And when you're doing this, how I like to do it, get familiar and to make sure that I've touched every card, because you got to imagine all the people touching these cards as they're being made. All right, let's get their juju off of them and put our juju into them. So I've got myself, I'm in a really good frame of mind. Everything's great. So I have my Fool card, and then I go on to 1, and I just go through the deck like this, making sure, and then the more you do it, the faster you will become. And we're just going to make sure that every single card is there. Okay, so we're just kind of clearing our deck, and that's what we're going to do. So after you've done that, then you're going to go through your 4 suits. Sorry. Now the suits are just like in a deck of cards. You know, you have an ace, king, queen, and so forth and so on. And we're just going to go through and make sure all those guys are here. Look at that. I'm almost done with my deck of cards, going through them. They're all here so far. Ta-da, King of Water, Ace of Water, 2, 3. Okay, you see how quickly you can go through? Thanks for bearing with me. We're almost there. We're almost there. Yeah. It's good you stuck with me, because I want you to see that it's such a simple thing to do. Okay, but you gotta do it with every deck of cards. Ta-da! All right, so I've got all my deck of cards here. The next thing that I like to do is start shuffling them, because we've got to get them all mixed up. And there's so many ways that you can do that. You can do that by just kind of you know, the 52 card pickup thing where you do that and just let them fall where they might. Now, I don't like to do reverse card readings, and if you're not familiar with that, basically the card, this is upright and that's reversed, okay? So if you get it reversed, it has a different meaning to it in a lot of decks. It's up to you, the reader, if that's how you want to read them, and I'm not such a fan of that, and I don't know why. I am, but I'm not. You know, it's great that we can come up with a bunch of different meanings, have 78 cards, and then, you know, create, you know, a whole bunch of different meanings by just turning them upside down. That's pretty awesome, because it would be pretty hard to carry all those cards in one deck if they each had just one singular meaning. So I appreciate that. It's just that in sometimes they've made that reverse card kind of scary, and I don't like that for people. Okay, not to say I don't read them, it's just I normally don't. And the reason that whole conversation I just had happened is because when I'm shuffling, I like to keep them all upright. Okay, but if you're not concerned with that, then have at it. A lot of times I'll go ahead and start no matter what with an upright deck. Okay, another thing you can do, and oh, looky here, see this card has a little damage on it, and I'm going to pay special attention to that. Okay, and ironically, it's one of my favorite cards. Look at that. Isn't that so sweet? So sweet. Okay, so you're going to shuffle your cards. So the other thing you can do to help clear your cards after you've gone through them is give them a little knock. Okay, and then from there, if you know the tarot system, you know that these cards are going to mean the same thing no matter what the pictures, no matter what they call them down here. You know your suits, you know that a 10 means what it means, you know that water means what it means, and then you go and you look in your card deck here for the symbology of it, and then you start looking at the symbols. So each artist, each author creates their own symbols for the cards to help, you know, maybe resonate with you a little bit better. And that's all it's about. I mean, you can see just a tiny little stack of cards right here. I have a whole cabinet full of them over there and another cabinet full of them here, because I love them. I think they're beautiful. I like to collect them, and sometimes I am surprised and I get a deck of cards that just really resonates with me, and that's the card deck I'll use for a while. So it's just going to be, you know, it's good for you to kind of experiment and see what you like. Now, if you don't want to spend a ton of money and to find out what cards work for you, then you'll need to follow my YouTube page, because I'm going to start telling you about these decks of cards, and you can find YouTube videos on them elsewhere too, I'm sure. So if there's a deck that I haven't gotten to yet, just search for it on YouTube and see if anybody's done a video on what that deck is about. So, for instance, my go-to deck is always the Angel Tarot deck by Radleigh Valentine and Doreen Virtue. And right now it's just Radleigh Valentine. I just really have studied the meaning, you know, the symbology on the cards that they've used. They speak to me. I think they're friendly, nice. I think there's a lot of people who are afraid of tarot, and in order to introduce them to that, this is the deck I use because it seems to feel safe to them. Okay, same system, just different pictures, and somehow it feels more safe. But I'm not gonna lie, there's some decks I have that I've gotten and I'm like, oh hell no, I'm not gonna use that deck. It just seems scary to me, you know. The pictures just seem ugh, and so I don't use them. All right, so that's that quick little video. Thanks for watching. If you want to order a tarot deck, let me know which one you're interested in, and I can get them for you. And everybody that follows my page gets a discount of at least 10%, depends on what's on special that month, or if you get them with a reading. So let me know and I can get you some. Okay, and that's all I have to say. Bye.